Hello, I'm Stephen Barker. I'm the Dean of the Claire Trevor School of the Arts. We're in Laguna Beach, where a local developer, Gerald Buck, has given us his great collection of art. Please come in. Here we have some really remarkable works of California art in all genres. We begin with a work by American artist Sam Francis, a really remarkable abstract drip technique painting, one of the largest that Francis ever did on paper. Very unusual in that regard in terms of its dimensions. One of the great treasures of the collection here, a large work by American artist Richard Diebenkorn. It's called Albuquerque, but it's actually done in California, done in the 60s. Diebenkorn's turned out to be one of the truly great American artists the latter part of the 20th century. Here we have a work by Roger Koontz, who was quite famous for doing a number of works in Southern California, including this highway series. You look at it as something that's simply capturing a road sign, and yet look at the way in which what Koontz has done is to completely change the nature of this by having two shadows cut diagonally across the street sign so that it takes you right back outdoors into the sun again. This is one of our treasures. It's by a former UCI faculty member, Peter Alexander. He did a whole series of LA nighttime cityscape scenes. I have to say, I think this is the great one. The color of this is just remarkable, as you can clearly see. Many of Peter Alexander's LA night scenes have a horizon line that's very high in the canvas. But clearly what he wanted to do with this was to show this amazing evening sky with its colors and its roiling clouds, so that the city is almost just a kind of afterthought down below. We're looking down over a hill, but we're really looking at the incredible sky. Carlos Alvarez is famous for being fascinated by fire. And so this piece, Alvarez piece, which is simply called Car Crash on Pacific Coast Highway, literally picks that up. The idea of this radical horizontal format for the piece really does pick up the idea of PCH and its wonderful panorama, but with this terrible event that's taking place on it at the same time. Come with me into the next room, where I'll show you a couple of pieces of what is called plein air art, California Impressionism. This piece by Morris Brown, painted in the very early part of the 20th century, and you can see how the beautiful, beautiful use of colors, the tonal use of shadows. Notice that there are no blacks in here at all. The shadows are all blues and greens, which is the way in which our eye sees these things, are really wonderful examples of this very famous genre of California art. One of the most famous genres of California art in the 1950s is called hard-edged abstraction. Here we have an example of that by a man named Lorcer Feitelson, a San Francisco artist. Really a wonderful balance of colors all the way through the spectrum, from the orange all the way up through blues and greens to the 5 or 6 areas of black. Hard-edged abstraction was a very popular genre of art at the same time as Jackson Pollock was doing drip paintings, and Sam Francis as well. So there were many, many things going on in American art in the 1950s. To pick up a different side of the collection that Gerald Buck put together. These are all representational works. Joe Weissman's cityscape, showing just a glimpse, a kind of snapshot of downtown LA in the early to mid 1930s. And then this piece is by a man named Ben Messick. It's one of his really, really masterful depictions of LA street scene art, with all kinds of things at work. You could study this piece for an hour to see the various kinds of activity going on, just full of life, with these wonderfully full figures, done, by the way, in the 1930s. The Buck collection is a little over 3,200 works of art. Over time, it's going to be really fun for us to be able to switch out and rotate works so that we can bring some of the amazing works that Gerald Buck assembled out for public view.